Good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to another tutorial. And today we're going to be reviewing a 2000 watt inverter by Renogy, and this has an automatic transfer switch. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I just rigged this up before, so I thought I'd do a quick tutorial on it to tell you how I've rigged it up and everything like that. I've still got to do the last sort of wrinkles of it, but I've pretty much majority of it hooked it up. And yeah, so the goal with this is using this as a backup power supply when the power goes out. My servers still run, fridge freezers, everything will still run fine on this, and we'll continuously just run. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if we look at the back here, what I've actually done is these came with two i-terminals. So I've plugged both of them in. Usually you only plug one, but I've plugged both, and the reason why is because I've got this hooked to two batteries at once. One, so the solar can back charge it through these cords, and second of all, it'll make a stronger connection. So rather than, if I say go max 2000 watts, rather than getting one of these cables hot, it'll share the load between two batteries. We've got our fans, positive, negative, hooked to two batteries. And hang on, I just got to scoot around because I'm sitting down on the ground, so just bear with me. Ooh. And here on this side, sort of a bit hard to see, we've got a remote. We got a remote port which I've disconnected because the inverter is going to be full time on anyway for the transfer switch to happen. We've got two 240 volts, 50 hertz DC out, or AC out, and we've also got the auto transfer switch side, which is here. So while the mains is on, this is actually just runs to, if I can, hang on, I'll just zoom out just so we get better. This actually runs to an extension cord. So this extension cord comes from the mains through the inverter. So at the moment everything runs off the extension as the mains is on. But what I want to test is the auto transfer switch side. So we're going to simulate a power cut just by unplugging it. For testing, we're going to be, I have my Batocera game rigged up. It's just on Balloon Fight on Nintendo Classic, or in entertainment systems. So this is running off the mains, but what I want to do is I want to unplug this, and I want to see how fast it transfers to the battery, if there's any sort of notice. So what we're going to do is, to demonstrate this, I'll put the cord between my legs. So all I have to do is yank the extension cable and it should unplug. So my dreads are sort of getting annoying. So we'll look at the screen and I'll just see if I hear any ticks, which you will, because it'll have relay switches in the inverter that'll quickly switch it to the inverter side. So we're going to test it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we are running off the inverter. It's out. So we're still getting solar. The auto transfer switch side is holding it between my legs, and the inverter is still on. But now what I want to test is, when I plug it back in, I want to test how much seconds it takes for it to switch back over. So what we'll do is we'll plug it back in. I just better do it without shocking myself because I'm doing everything with one hand. Okay, it's plugged in. And we're still running. And there was I just heard the tick of the auto transfer switch switching back to mains. So that took about 8 to 10 seconds to switch from when the mains came back online, to switch from the mains from the battery source back to the mains. So now we're running on mains again, and it's still humming. So we'll simulate it one more time. So as I said, we'll do the same thing. Put the cord between my legs, and we're going to yank it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back on the inverter again. The automatic transfer switch side is out. So now we're going to plug it back in. So as I said, I'm just doing everything with one hand, so bear in mind. And we plugged in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 seconds I counted just then when it when the mains were plugged in to when it transferred back to the mains. So that's pretty cool. It obviously works how it's advertised, and our game hasn't switched off at all. So yeah, with this you can power up to 2000 watts worth of things. It's best not to overpower it. So I'd have to rig it in such a way where I cannot overpower it. Probably putting the washing machine on this system is a bit of a risk, because if I'm running a heat cycle, I'd probably overload it. So I'd probably just run this or this. Behind this curtain is my freezer and fridge. I'll probably run that. I'll probably run my office, which is the server, and also this the server behind the TV, and I'll probably run all this system as well. So this will all run, even though that with the power cuts out. We are getting solar as well, so this will charge itself through solar. I've also got a charger that I can run off a generator if I want to charge it from a generator or from mains power. So you might as well say I've turned my battery bank into a backup power supply. I've got 3 deep cycle batteries, lead acid, and they seem to be working fine. So yeah, I just thought I would do a tutorial on how I rig the system up. It's a bit of a quick tutorial, and yeah, we're going to be using it on a daily. As I said, this comes with a remote, but I'll disconnect the remote and just leave the inverter on all the time. So that means that if anything does happen to the mains. The downfall about this particular inverter is it would have been good if it had its own back charge. You can buy inverters that have back charge. So that means that when you plug it to the mains or a generator, it'll actually charge from that auto transfer switch. So it's an auto transfer switch and a charger and an inverter in one unit. But this one's just an auto transfer switch and an inverter. I've still got to have some sort of third-party charge controller like a solar, or even a, as I said, this sort of charger just to top the batteries up. But that's alright. For the price of 500 New Zealand dollars for what I got it for, it works fine. So anyway, without further ado, hopefully everyone learnt something new. This was, as I said, I just rigged this up today, just not so long ago. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy everything up, make sure everything is all tidy. This is just straight after rigging, and yeah, and having to rig everything up properly in terms of the AC side. So I've got to disconnect all my servers from which will temporarily stop them, and once I disconnect all the servers and everything and plug it to this, everything will come back online. And then once that's like that, what will happen is the auto transfer switch, when it cuts out, when the power cuts out, these will still run, my servers, the internet, TV, both servers, and as I said, the fridge, freezer. I might actually just hook everything to it, just so it all runs thing, because I just can't be bothered rerouting cables, and that'll be the only sort of downfall if I was to rig everything up in a certain way. So I mean, it's not the best way to do it, but yeah, it's the easier way. So without further ado, hopefully everyone has a good day, and as I said, I hope you learned something, and until next time, have a good day. Cheer.